Have you ever actually wondered what your armpits for? This episode of Free Speed, I'm going to show you the real purpose of that unusual body part.
After fixing cycling, new UCI President Brian Cookson anointed Mike Plant as head of a new mudslinging commission, or cyclocross, as it has been occasionally described. Plant, a vocal critic of Pat McQuaid, has been rewarded for his support of Cookson by being presented with a notebook, a pen, a real Swiss cowbell, and a jet wash. Vuelta-winning neo-pro Chris Horner used Twitter to publish his autobiography. In a bizarre stream of tweets, the yet-to-be-employed person revealed that he has endured many of the things we all have to do to get on in life, including sleeping in cars, struggling to pay bills, and turning down $75,000 a year from Europcar. He did that. Team Belkin disconnected with former Olympic champion LL Cool Beans Sanchez by buying him out of his contract. They felt that he was linked to too many of the old ways of the team, such as doping to win things. As cycling is now changed, Sanchez is faced with an uphill struggle to remain unemployed and is expected to sign with another team. Sheryl Crow sang to the feds that she saw Lance do what we all knew he was doing anyway in 2004. Crow witnessed blood doping whilst flying high in Armstrong's private jet. It may be presumed wrongly that Phil Leggett was on the toilet at the time. Armstrong remains confident. At a lavish event in Milan, organizers of the Circuit of Ireland Grand Tour announced that at least 16 stages would take place outside the island during the Giro in Italy. The Italian leg will see a multitude of mountain finishes and a 46-kilometer time trial and a stage win by at least one yet-to-be-announced Irish rider.
So if you ever come to beg, steal or borrow a bike, quite often you need to change the saddle height, and I want to show you a really quick and easy way to do that. That's probably not going to be too far off your ideal riding position. Okay, so what I'm going to show you is a really quick way to get your seat height set up. All you basically do is lean over the bike with your armpit in the saddle, and what you need to do is the middle finger on the tip needs to be at the crank bolt. So I need to obviously raise this one. And then I'll find that when I jump on, it's at a really good saddle height for me. So you'll see there, the angle of the leg is pretty much spot on. But let's actually test that. What I'm going to do is I'll get rid of this one. Okay, so with this bike my position was set up by a Retool Master Fitter, and obviously there's a lot more to bike fit than just the saddle height, but let's just check out where we're at here, and you can see how close that is. So race bike, Retool fit, shopping bike, armpit fit. Like I say, for a hire bike, for a borrowed bike, it's a really quick way to get your seat height pretty accurate.
My name's Arlene Foster. I'm the Minister for Enterprise, Trade and Investment in Northern Ireland, and that looks after tourism in Northern Ireland as well. And I'm really here because the big start is coming to Belfast and to Northern Ireland next year.
I know from my own experience that basically a lot of the most interesting people that I am come from Northern Ireland. What do you think there is about Northern Ireland that makes it attractive to the organisers of the Giro?
Oh my goodness, there's so much. There's the good food, and we know Italians like their food, so obviously they're going to enjoy a bit of that. There's the scenery, of course, and part of the route is going right past the North Coast route, and that's going to be beautiful, and then down into Armagh, actually at the time of the apple blossom, so that's going to be beautiful as well.
Fantastic.
So, and of course the hospitality and the welcome will be second to none as always.
Yeah. So Martin Irvine, you're here at the Giro presentation, but obviously your focus is track racing. But as a young lad, would you ever have expected the Giro to be coming on roads pretty close to where you're from?
No, when I was young, a Giro was a crash helmet. I didn't know what a bike race looked like, so I've come a long way since then, and I've grown to love it. And obviously track's my thing, but now I think I've got bitten by the Giro bug, and see what happens.
Right. Do you think the kind of interest that the Giro might attract, just beyond the normal cycling public, might end up with us getting the velodrome in Ireland, do you think?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I don't really honestly think people know how cruel cycling can be in Ireland. They're used to getting in the way in traffic. That's about it, But when you see the passion that this level brings, it's awesome.
I mean, it's interesting. When I was a lad, people just used to shout at me on the road. Then Stephen Roach won the Tour, and people would shout Stephen Roach at me on the road.
Yeah.
Obviously it's changing, but there's still a long way to go.
Oh yeah, more people are loving it, so there's more annoyance on the road if you like it that way, but then it's more education needed to keep everybody interested in it and see how cool it can be.
And what about your season now? I mean, you're getting into track season.
I'm in the middle of I was racing in Switzerland 2 days ago, and then I'm European Championships in a couple of weeks. So I'm kind of in the middle of training.
How's the form?
It's okay, slow. As I've broke my leg at the start of the year, so I'm creeping back up form, so it's still an unknown, really.
And where would you say your focus is going to be in the future? Do you want to just keep it on the track, or can you see a road?
Track endurance, I'll say, so I can juggle a bit of both. I love track racing, but roads where I started. I started riding a road bike, so I'll always love the road bike, and if I can do both at a good level, I will.
I mean, obviously you're in a pretty exclusive club now of Irish cycling world champions.
Yeah, it's pretty small.
It's pretty amazing, really.
Yeah, it's funny. I never seen it coming. I just train hard and put my head down and get on with it and focus on good racing, and then the results come. So.
Darren McQuaid, the man behind bringing the Giro to Ireland, how big a challenge was it to persuade RCS to host probably the majority of stages of the circuit of Ireland and Italy? Did they take a lot of persuading?
They took a lot of persuading. They were very open to the idea right from the start, which was for me very helpful because I didn't feel like I was pushing a closed door.
Yeah.
And once I was able to prove to them that the logistics would work, it became a potential reality.
Right. And one thing that's fairly important is the culture of cycling. And to me, the two countries have got a lot more in common than people would think. The one thing I'm struggling with is, what is the Italian for crack? And so it is.
I think it's divertente or something like that.
Okay, well, as long as they've got a word for it.
They have a word for it. Yeah, no, they know how to enjoy themselves. Absolutely. Right. They also know how to be passionate about a sporting event. And the Giro really does get their blood boiling with passion. And I think what they're going to see when they come to Northern Ireland and Southern Ireland is that we are passionate about sport. When we see the best in the world practice their game in any sport, we're passionate in the support for them, and I think the Giro are going to be blown away when they arrive.
Now, in terms of logistics, it's probably one of the biggest things that's happened in Ireland maybe since Springsteen played at Slane Castle even.
The logistics are particularly large.
Yeah.
We're replicating a lot of the kit. We're not bringing so much stuff from Italy to Ireland, which I think is going to help the evacuation, obviously, ultimately. But the logistics of teams, organisation, media, road closures, church services on a Sunday morning, we need to communicate to everybody what the size of the scale of this event is, and that's a long-term job. It's not something you can do in a couple of weeks.
I mean, personally, I know a lot of the roads that the route is going on. I've heard rumours of sheep being painted pink.
Well, I don't think there'd be anything wrong with that.
It wouldn't be the first time I've seen it.
It wouldn't be the first time for me either. I've seen sheep painted all sorts of colours, but yeah, we'll talk to the farmers. And well, look, Tour de France and the Giro, you see the helicopter flights where farmers and the agricultural community do all sorts of things with bales of hay and tractors, and should be good.
And it wouldn't be right to talk to McQuaid in cycling without getting controversial. Has there been pressure for national teams from Morocco and Thailand to be involved?
No. I did, and I was delighted to see it. I did notice Martin Irvine was here today, and I would love, and I will from my part, make sure that RCS Sport, when they're choosing their invitational teams, that they know about Martin and they know about United Healthcare.
Yeah, well, personally I was talking to MTN Quebec, and they're very excited about the possibility of, first of all, racing the Giro, but also with the whole Irish connection as well. So, I mean, it looks like a massive coup. Is this the start of getting bigger things into cycling in Ireland?
That's the plan. If this comes and goes, kind of like the Tour de France did in '98, it was great, but it didn't really have an immediate legacy. It wasn't until 2006 we got the Tour of Ireland started again. We wanted an immediate legacy. The lads are performing massively, and the girls around the world now. So we want the legacy of this to be immediate.
And one final thing, I can't help but notice, is that Guinness you're drinking?
Certainly is. Can I go back to it, please? Cheers.